and this one goes out to our own show business industry here in Hollywood. We're going to do something now we're going to do every week on this show. It's called New Rules, and the reason why it came about is while I was off, I got ever more cranky about stupid things that people were doing, especially when it becomes a sheep-like headlong rush where lots of stupid people do the same stupid thing. For example, new rule. No more whining about the French. At least they're standing up to the Bush administration, which is more than I can say for the Democrats. And by the way, it doesn't make me un-American to say I'd rather live in Paris than in places where cheese only comes in individually wrapped slices. New rule. If you are the president, you have to have stuff on your desk. You just do. You just do. It makes us feel better. It's just... New rule. Just because your tattoo has Chinese characters in it doesn't make you spiritual. It's right above the crack of your ass, and it translates to beef with broccoli. The last time you did anything spiritual, you were praying to God you weren't pregnant. If we want England's opinion, we'll dictate it to Tony Blair. How can 59 million people be so dumb? Gee, I don't know. How many of you voted for Prince Charles? Oh, right, I forgot. 0. He got the job because his great-great-great-great-great-grandmother married the Duke of Brunswick in 1658. Sorry, but I can't take any country seriously where the bars close at 11. New rule. Jesus is not a candle. A company in South Dakota is selling candles with the scent of Jesus. You light one, and your friends say, "Christ, what's that smell?" It's true. The formula comes straight out of the Bible. It's from the little-known letter of Paul to the aromatherapists. But if Jesus had smelled so great, how come everybody was always offering to wash his feet? New rule. If you're blind, you don't have to pick up your guide dog's poop. A blind couple is headed to court over complaints that they didn't. You see, they would have, but they can't see shit. New rule. It's just a donut. What is up with the Krispy Kreme phenomenon? It's a glob of deep-fried dough, not Super Bowl tickets. Aren't we Americans fat enough without pretending that donuts are hip? And while we're at it, if you're not a trucker hat isn't cool either. New rule, no more celebrating gastric bypass. Carney Wilson, Al Roker, and now Star Jones are all being heralded by the media for stapling their stomachs shut. They shouldn't be. They're not making a brave choice to change. They're giving money to doctors to reroute their ability to turn food into crap. It's like kicking cocaine by crazy gluing your nostrils shut. New rule. Jewish people have to start fucking. The Jewish population in America dropped 5% in the last decade, which may explain why this country's finances have gone to shit. Breed, you sons of Abraham, breed! We need you. Israel needs you. Kobe Bryant, Robert Blake, and Phil Spector need you. Without Jews, who's going to write all those sitcoms about blacks and Hispanics? New rule. Don't make people who hate you hug you. Whatever the Bush administration is blackmailing John McCain with, stop. New rule, one dear to my heart. Lap dancing is a First Amendment right. The LA City Council this week banned lap dancing. What is next? Burning books? Lap dancers, or Imagineers, as I like to call them, are artists drawing you into their fantasy world, much like a skilled novelist does. If novelists had perfectly waxed bikini lines. But more importantly, lap dancers are expressing an idea called hope. The hope that someday a skinny young woman with artificial breasts and a navel piercing will want to have sex with you. And without that hope, millions of American men might just as well throw themselves into the sea. New rule, the end of Friends is not a national tragedy. You know, it used to be a sitcom just went off the air. One week, Darren was complaining to Samantha about Larry Tate. The next week, he wasn't, and nobody cared. Each of the characters on Friends has fucked every other character on Friends in every combination possible, including the monkey Let It Go. New rule, tipping is for waiters, bathroom attendants, and lap dancers only. What is it with Starbucks, delis, even dry cleaners all having little jars on the counter? What's 15% of blow me? Waiters get tips because they wait on you. If your job involves standing behind a counter cutting bagels in half, you're not waiting on me, I'm waiting on you. New rule. Keep Dick Cheney in seclusion. With the election nearing, the White House has decided to bring the Veep out of seclusion and soften his image. Please, we like Dick Cheney in seclusion. He's like the creature in the cradle at the end of Rosemary's Baby. It's more frightening when all we see is the rattle in its horrible little hand. Stick to your original strategy. Only bring Cheney out when you're trying to make Ashcroft seem human. All right, new rule. If someone wants to run Haiti bad enough to fight for it, why not give them a shot? Put a chicken in charge. At least when it gets overthrown, they'll have something to eat. Because, you know, Americans, even though we'll eat centipedes and marry dwarves on TV, we won't run Haiti. Because Haiti doesn't have any strategic American interests. And by that, of course, I mean white people and oil. New rule. When politicians speak, they have to stop doing this. It looks like they're giving a prostate exam to a midget. We don't know what this means. If John Edwards doesn't stop, he'll give himself carpal tunnel syndrome and waste the next 8 years suing his thumbs. New rule, don't punish rednecks for being rednecks. This week, NASCAR fined Dale Earnhardt Jr. for publicly saying the words, "It don't mean shit." You can't find a redneck for that. That's not just an expression of them, it's the entire redneck philosophy. Lost your job, it don't mean shit. Wife went off with the UPS man, don't mean shit. Entire rationale for a war proves to be false, it don't mean shit. That's the beauty of the lifestyle. If rednecks had to pretend they cared about stuff, they'd be yuppies. Ready? New rule. Stop saying over and over, he can run, but he can't hide. About John Kerry, since it's the exact same thing you said about Osama bin Laden, who clearly can hide. Boy, can he hide. We can't find him with cruise missiles, satellites, or million-dollar bribes. Although, oddly enough, he is reachable through classmates.com. The rule, soldiers have to follow orders. In World War II, there was none of this. We're not going because we don't have the right equipment. You want equipment? Join the Swiss Army. If your order is to ride a skateboard through a minefield to deliver a Zagnut bar to Donald Rumsfeld, I'm sorry, that's the deal with the Army. Because you know what happens to soldiers who disobey direct orders? That's right, they become the President of the United States. Ooh. Anyone elected mayor of a place called Sin City is allowed to be a drunk. Come on.
Logical.
Las Vegas Mayor Oscar Goodman is taking flack for telling school children that he doesn't have a problem drinking because, quote, I love to drink. And then adding that if he had to pick anything to be stranded with on a desert island, he would bring his favorite gin. Kids, personally, I would bring Eve because you know that freak is packing weed. Rule: don't eat anything that's served to you out a window unless you're a seagull. People are acting all shocked that a human finger was found in a bowl of Wendy's chili. Hey, it costs less than $1. What do you expect it to contain? Trout? Luckily, it was only a finger. If it was a whole hand, Congress would have voted to keep it alive. New rule: I don't need an annoying little sticker on each individual piece of fruit. Let me get this straight. Our borders aren't secure, but we're still going through the plums by hand? You know, those stickers are the opposite of appetizing, especially the one on kiwis that says, don't these kind of look like your balls? Rule: the more complicated the Starbucks order, the bigger the asshole. If you walk into a Starbucks and order a decaf grande, half soy, half low-fat, iced vanilla, double shot, gingerbread cappuccino, extra dry, light ice with one sweet and low and one NutraSweet, ooh, you're a huge asshole. If you're this much of a control freak about coffee, you must be really unbearable when it comes to something important like a Danish. New rule: someone must stop the Cirque du Soleil. If we hate the French so much, how come we gave them Las Vegas? There are now 6 Cirque du Soleil-related shows on the Strip. 6. Who wants to spend 2 hours watching a bunch of French chicks fold themselves in half? You know what? Scratch that. New rule: we need more Cirque du Soleil. New rule: the fortunes in fortune cookies have to be fortunes. You surround yourself with good friends. It's not a prediction. It's a compliment. Quit kissing my ass, Cookie. If I'm going to sit through a plate of MSG-laden twice-cooked kitty cat, I want a real fortune like that meal you just ate is going to give you cancer. Ready? New rule: for Halloween, President Bush must go as either a cop or an Indian. This week, Bush dressed up like a construction worker. He's also been a biker, a Navy man, and of course, a cowboy. You know, for a guy who's anti-gay, he spends an awful lot of time dressed like the Village People. All right, ready? New rule number 1. Enough with gay-sploitation TV. Queer eye for the straight guy? Hey, if I want a bunch of gay men in Queenie outfits telling me how to live my life, I'll go back to Mass. And we better do it soon, because our choice